Alright, starting off first with the first 1912 wheat penny. Now this coin here has a mint error, so it has an attached lamination here on the obverse of the coin, the front of the coin. We see that there on Lincoln's shoulder. So this coin here, as a result of that, sold for over $630. 600 bucks for that coin, not too bad at all. Now let's move on to a 1912 D mint mark. Now this coin is only graded at an extra fine 45. The coin sold for around 70 bucks. Honestly, I wouldn't pay 70 bucks for that coin in that condition, but here is a 1912 D from a famous collection that sold for over $27,000. And of course, this is in very, very good condition, graded at a mint state 66 red. So if you haven't seen my red pennies versus brown pennies versus red brown pennies video, definitely check that out on the channel. Red is obviously going to be more desirable and typically more expensive in most cases. Yeah, $27,000 compared to 70 bucks. Big difference. Now same thing with the 1912 no mint mark wheat cent. Now this coin is graded at an AU 58, so not too bad of a grade, but not a mint state grade. This coin sold for around 60 bucks. But the 1912 no mint mark with the mint state grade, mint state 67 red, this coin sold for over $18,000. And the reason for that is because, you know, coins like this, there's probably not many of those out there with that type of grade or higher. So, you know, the less of these coins that are in this condition, the more valuable these coins are going to be, and the higher the demand for them, of course. So $18,000 for that coin. Now if we look at the 1912S, this coin here has a mint error. It's been struck 5% off center, and this coin sold for over $1,200. Now this is a brown penny, so you can see the difference between brown and red. So $1,200, $1,000 penny there. Now for the 1912, this coin doesn't have any types of errors. It's only graded at a very fine 35, sold for around $55. This coin here, same coin, 1912S, however, it has a high grade, mint state 65 red, and this coin sold for over $27,000. Again, so huge difference in coin prices there based on the condition of the coin. Now we also have the 1912 proof coin, so it's going to be no mint mark for those coins, graded at a proof 66 red. And boy, that thing looks absolutely amazing. This coin here sold for over $19,000 because of its rarity and because of that high grade. Now here's some wheat pennies that have mint errors that you should always be on the lookout for. Now first, we're going to look here at the 1941 wheat penny. So if you have one of those, you can look for these. And some of this stuff you can actually look for on other pennies. Now this is going to be a double die obverse. So you see how the lettering on the phrase "In God We Trust" is doubled there. That is what you want to look for with your coin microscopes. I have those microscopes available on the website couchcollectibles.com. Link is always in the description of every single video. So look for that doubling there on the lettering of the coin. Now also look for that on the word Liberty as well as on the date 1941 itself. Now you can really see it here on the date to the left of the 1 and the 9. So that's a good example of doubling on the 1941 penny. Now let's look at some different type of prices, coin prices for these double die coins. Now you can see here on the coin slab, it's graded at an extra fine 40, and it has that double die obverse, that doubling taking place on the front of the coin. So this coin, you can see that, you know, it looks like a normal penny from a distance, but it actually has that double die that we just looked at up close. So this coin here only sold for a little over $100. But again, if we move up in coin prices, we look at this coin here, graded at an extra fine 45. Now this penny here sold for over $240. And then if we go to a very expensive penny, this coin sold for over $9,000. Now you see the difference between this $100 coin and this $9,000 coin, and that is going to be the grade of the coin. So this coin is graded at a mint state 66 red. So that is a huge, well, that is the factor of why this coin sold for what it actually did. So a $100 coin to a $9,000 coin, you have a brown penny and a red grade penny and a mint state grade instead of an extra fine grade. So that is going to be a huge difference. So the condition of a coin is going to impact the value of a coin tremendously by the grade. So always keep that in mind. The grade is so important. I cannot stress it enough. But if you do have a 1941 that looks this good and you actually see that it has a double die with your coin microscope, you definitely want to send it to a coin grading company. Now also on the 1941S, we have a couple examples of the S mint mark. So this one here is the large S, and here's another example of that large S next to the date 1941. Now here is an example of the small S. So we can go back and forth. Here's the small S, here's the large S. There's kind of the visual difference. The small S is going to be more common for this date, the 1941. So the large S is going to be a little more sought after. It's going to be more scarce. So always keep that in mind. Look out for those large S's. Now in 1941, they produced millions of these coins. As we can see here on the right side, for each different mint mark, they produced millions. So always keep that in mind as well. They're not valuable in terms of how many they actually made. Now here is a 1941D mint mark. So this coin is graded at a mint state 67 red. Now that is what is going to give the coin all of its value, is that high grade. Because of the coin is in such good condition, and you know how many of these coins actually exist at this grade or higher, that's what you're really going to get the value from. So this penny sold for over $2,000. 2,000 bucks. Now same thing with the 1941 no mint mark penny. This one is graded at a mint state 67 red, and that's why the coin sold for over $1,000. And then here is the 1941 S high grade with the same exact grade, and this coin sold for over $1,800 because of its high grade. Now for the 1941 proof wheat penny, now this coin here again is graded at a proof 67 red, so that is going to give it a lot of value. I mean a lot of value. This coin sold for over $14,000. I could not imagine having a coin in my collection worth $14,000. That would be absolutely insane. But I guess a lot of people that have this kind of money will use it as an investment, or someone just has a lot of money and they're a crazy coin collector. That's kind of what I would be, probably, or both. I'd be a crazy coin collector and have it as an investment. On your 1936 wheat pennies, first thing you want to look for is doubling. So here is some examples of doubling taking place on the 1936 wheat penny on the lettering. So you can look for this with a USB coin microscope up close. It's really difficult to see it from a distance without a microscope. You can also look for that on Liberty. I do have microscopes available on couchcollectibles.com. Links always in the description of every single video. If you're not sure how to get to the description, you can always do so by going underneath this video and pressing the little gray arrow, and it will show you the description, the gray arrow on the right to the bottom of this video. Also look for that doubling on the date 1936 itself. So here is a few examples of that. Pretty extreme doubling here. Now it's pretty simple. You go to the bank, get a box of pennies, you find any pennies, you separate them by date, and look for the different errors on different year pennies. I got pretty much a video about almost every penny out there and different types of errors to look for on different dates. So once you go to the bank and separate those, you can look for these different types of errors. Now let's look at some prices here for the 1936 double die. Now this first coin here is graded at a very fine 35. So it's not got a mint state grade or anything like that. It looks like a regular penny that you would, see in your pocket change. Pretty normal condition, I guess you could say. But it does have that doubling. It does have that double die obverse. So that is what's going to give it all of its value. This coin sold for over $175 even in this condition. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe in the middle. Check out the videos to the left of me, and until tomorrow, I will see you on the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.